Every night, your mind travels to a world beyond reason, a realm where your consciousness detaches from the noise of the waking world. Yet, when you open your eyes, that mysterious landscape vanishes. You try to recall your dreams, but they dissolve like mist in sunlight. In Buddhist understanding, this is not random forgetfulness. It's spiritual amnesia. Your inability to remember your dreams is often a reflection of how disconnected you've become from your deeper self. The restless mind, consumed by endless desire, digital distraction, and emotional chaos, has lost its bridge to the inner world. Dreams are not just random stories, they are messages from the unconscious. Glimpses of karma, unresolved emotions, and even the spiritual lessons your soul is learning. But the more clouded your awareness becomes, the less access you have to this sacred space. Let us explore the deeper truth behind this mystery. 1. The clouded mirror of the mind. In Buddhism, the mind is often compared to a mirror. When it's clear, it reflects reality as it is. But when it's covered in dust, attachment, fear, anger, and endless craving, it becomes clouded. This same clouding happens when we sleep. Your dreams are the reflections of your inner mind. But when that mirror is dirty, the reflection fades before you can see it clearly. Forgetting your dreams is not a failure of memory. It's a symptom of inner fog. Most modern people fall asleep with their minds full of noise. The residue of social media, work stress, unresolved emotions, and mental restlessness. The mind doesn't truly rest. It simply shuts down, overwhelmed. In that state, consciousness slips into unconsciousness without awareness. The bridge between your waking and dreaming state breaks. You dream, but you don't know you dream. You wake up, but you don't remember you did. Buddhist teachings say that true awareness doesn't disappear when the body sleeps. It only withdraws. A trained, mindful mind remains subtly awake even in dreams. That's why monks who meditate deeply can often recall or even guide their dreams consciously. For them, the mirror of the mind is polished, calm, steady, and awake to both worlds. If you wish to remember your dreams, you must first cleanse the mirror of your mind. Let go of overthinking before bed. Stop feeding your mind with chaos. Breathe deeply. Sit in silence and allow the noise to settle. The more still your mind becomes, the clearer the bridge between the dream world and the waking world will grow. When your consciousness becomes pure, your dreams will begin to speak again. Clearly, gently, and truthfully. 2. Karma's silent messages. When you remember your dreams, you are given a rare opportunity to look directly at the workings of karma, how your past actions shape your inner world. But when you forget them, it is often because your mind has not yet developed the stillness or courage to face those truths. Many people think forgetting dreams is harmless, but in Buddhist insight, it symbolizes how disconnected we've become from the deeper stream of consciousness guiding us toward awakening. Karma communicates not through logic, but through symbols. You might see yourself falling, running, or searching. These are not random scenes, but reflections of unresolved energies. However, when the ego is too dominant, it dismisses these messages as nonsense. The heart must soften before it can receive them. In Buddhism, remembering your dreams is not about fascination with the mystical. It's about awareness. The more mindful you become in daily life, the more you begin to see continuity between waking and dreaming. Awareness no longer shuts down when the body sleeps. It continues quietly, observing the dance of karma with clarity. To reconnect with your dreams, treat sleep as sacred. Before lying down, reflect gently on your day, not with judgment, but with awareness. Offer forgiveness where needed. Release what you cannot control. As you fall asleep with a heart unburdened, you open the door for karma to speak gently through dreams. The more you live with mindfulness and compassion, the clearer those messages will become. Then even the forgotten dreams will start to return, carrying insights that help you walk your spiritual path with greater wisdom and peace. 3. The disconnection from the subtle self. In Buddhism, there is a part of you that is far beyond the body and the surface mind. The subtle self. It is not your personality, not your name, and not your desires. It is the quiet awareness that observes all things. When you are deeply connected to this awareness, dreams become clear and vivid because you never truly lose consciousness. You only shift between dimensions of awareness. But most people today live entirely from the surface, from the shallow waters of thought, emotion, and constant stimulation. When the mind is too attached to the external world, it becomes deaf to the inner one. You may fall asleep quickly, but your awareness doesn't travel inward. It collapses. This collapse is what Buddhists call avidya, or spiritual ignorance, the blindness that prevents you from recognizing your own true nature. In that blindness, you lose touch with the subtle layers of being where dreams occur. The subtle self speaks in silence. It is the part of you that watches without judging, that feels without clinging, that simply is. But modern life constantly pulls you away from that state. Endless screens, mental noise, and emotional addiction all strengthen the illusion of separateness, separating you not only from others but from your own essence. The result? You stop remembering the language of your soul. To reconnect with your subtle self, Buddhist practice teaches the art of mindful surrender. As you lie in bed, do not fight your thoughts. Let them fade naturally. Feel the breath as it moves through you. Be aware that you are aware. This silent recognition bridges your waking mind with your deeper consciousness. And in that space, dreams no longer disappear. They become sacred reflections, soft, clear, and full of meaning. 4. The restless energy of desire. In Buddhist psychology, desire is seen as the root of restlessness, the constant grasping for what is not here. Every night when you lie down to sleep, your body may be still, but your mind often remains in motion. It runs through your to-do lists, your regrets, your fantasies, your fears. You might fall asleep physically, but spiritually, you never rest. This constant inner movement blocks the natural flow of awareness between waking and dreaming. You cannot remember your dreams because your consciousness is too busy chasing shadows, even in sleep. Desire burns energy. It scatters the mind, creating ripples in the still lake of awareness. When those ripples never settle, the deeper reflections, your dreams, become distorted or fade entirely. In Buddhism, this is known as the fire of craving. It consumes attention, making the present moment feel incomplete. The more you want, the less you can see what is. Many people try to fix this by forcing their minds to recall dreams or practicing complicated rituals before bed. But true clarity comes not from force, but from release. You must learn to let go, not as an act of denial, but as an act of freedom. When desire quiets, awareness deepens. The lake of the mind becomes calm again, and in that stillness, the dream world opens naturally. Before sleep, examine your desires honestly. Notice the craving to control, the hunger for success, the ache for approval. Do not fight them, simply see them. Awareness itself dissolves them. As desire loses power, peace enters. In that peace, your dreams will begin to return, not as fleeting illusions, but as mirrors showing you the truth of your own heart. The less you crave, the more clearly you see. 5. The weight of unresolved emotions. Many people assume they forget their dreams because of weak memory, but in Buddhist wisdom, it is often because the heart is too heavy. Unprocessed emotions, grief, anger, guilt, shame, weigh down the spirit and block the subtle channels of awareness. Dreams are not only visions, they are emotional landscapes where your soul tries to balance itself. When those emotions are too painful or suppressed, the mind protects itself by erasing the dream from memory. Forgetting becomes a form of self-defense. In Buddhism, this is known as the shadow of attachment, the tendency to cling to pleasant feelings and reject unpleasant ones. But what you reject does not disappear. It hides within you. These buried emotions surface in your dreams, seeking release. Yet, if your waking self refuses to face them, you lose the ability to integrate what your dreams reveal. You wake up blank, disconnected from what your subconscious tried to heal. Unresolved emotions disturb the natural rhythm of energy, known as prana or chi. This imbalance prevents smooth transitions between states of consciousness. A mind burdened with resentment or sorrow cannot easily flow from waking to dreaming and back again. But when you bring awareness to your emotions, when you allow yourself to feel deeply without judgment, the energy begins to move again. Healing starts. Before sleep, take a few moments to reflect on your day. Ask yourself, what am I still holding on to? Breathe into that feeling, not to fix it, but to honor it. The heart softens through honesty, not avoidance. Over time, your dreams will return as your emotional body clears. They will become guides, gentle expressions of healing, forgiveness, and peace. When your heart is light, the doorway to the dream world opens easily, revealing what the soul truly wants to show you. 6. The noise of modern existence. In ancient Buddhist monasteries, nights were quiet. No screens, no artificial light, no notifications pulling attention away from silence. Monks would meditate before sleeping, allowing the mind to descend gently into awareness. Today, that silence has been replaced by constant noise. Digital noise, emotional noise, mental noise. You scroll through your phone until your eyes close, thinking you are relaxing, but your brain is still flooded with stimulation. This overstimulation fragments the mind and weakens the bridge between your waking and dreaming worlds. When your mind is continuously exposed to screens and information, it stops listening inwardly. The constant flashing of lights and sounds overstimulates your nervous system, creating restlessness that continues even when you're asleep. You dream, but your consciousness never truly enters the dream. It drifts like a ghost, half awake, half asleep. That's why you wake up tired and blank, unable to recall what your soul just experienced. Buddhist wisdom teaches that silence is not the absence of sound. It's the absence of disturbance. A quiet mind can hear what the world beyond words is saying. If you wish to remember your dreams, you must reclaim stillness. Turn off your devices an hour before bed. Sit in silence. Breathe deeply. Listen to the sound of your own breath. That's the sound of life itself. Sleep should not be an escape from exhaustion, but a sacred ritual of reconnection. The more mindful you become in your evening routine, the more you'll notice a shift. Dreams will start to return, slowly, vividly. They come back because the mind is finally quiet enough to listen. Remember, the universe does not shout, it whispers. And your dreams are part of that whisper. Messages meant for a mind still enough to receive them. 7. The fragile bridge between consciousness and sleep. Buddhism views consciousness as a river, always flowing, never still. Sleep and wakefulness are not two separate worlds, but two sides of the same current. When awareness remains steady, that river flows smoothly, and you move from one state to another without losing connection. But when the bridge between consciousness and sleep is weak, awareness breaks. You lose memory of your dreams because your inner observer falls asleep before your body does. This happens because most people treat sleep as unconsciousness, as if rest means shutting off awareness. They collapse into bed, exhausted and overstimulated, allowing the mind to fall into darkness rather than light. In Buddhism, true rest is not unconsciousness. It is awareness without effort. When you fall asleep with mindfulness, your consciousness continues to witness, even as the body rests. This is the foundation of lucid dreaming and advanced meditation practices, where awareness never truly disappears. The Buddha once said, "He who watches himself sleeps peacefully." The goal is not to stay alert in tension, but to remain softly awake within your own presence. This is why monks practice mindfulness throughout the day, walking, eating, breathing, so that awareness becomes natural, even during sleep. To strengthen the bridge between consciousness and sleep, you must cultivate continuity of awareness. Before lying down, focus gently on your breath. Feel it as an anchor between worlds. As drowsiness comes, remain aware of the sensation of falling asleep. If your attention drifts, return to your breath. Over time, this subtle awareness begins to stretch into your dreams. You wake up remembering because you never truly left yourself. Dreams are not lost. They are waiting on the other side of awareness. Strengthen that bridge through stillness, and you will cross it freely, night after night in peace. 8. The ego's fear of vulnerability. In Buddhism, the ego is the false self, the mask you wear to protect yourself from pain, rejection, and truth. It constantly seeks control, trying to define who you are through status, possessions, and identity. But dreams threaten that illusion. In dreams, the ego loses control. It dissolves into the raw truth of your subconscious, exposing desires, fears, and hidden emotions you avoid in waking life. This is why many people unconsciously block their dreams. The ego does not want to see its own fragility. Forgetting your dreams is, in many ways, the ego's defense mechanism. It keeps you safe from your own depth. It whispers, "You don't need to remember that," because it fears what might be revealed: guilt, shame, or unresolved wounds. Yet, in Buddhist understanding, true freedom only comes when you face what lies beneath the mask. Awakening is not about becoming someone new. It is about seeing clearly who you already are beyond the stories the ego creates. The dream world is one of vulnerability. There, you cannot hide behind logic or self-image. Everything is symbolic and raw, a direct reflection of your mind's true state. To remember your dreams is to be willing to meet yourself completely. If you wish to awaken that connection, begin by cultivating humility. Before sleep, let go of the need to control your experience. Say to yourself, "Tonight I am open to truth." It is a simple but powerful surrender. The ego begins to soften and the deeper self steps forward. When this happens, your dreams no longer hide from you. They return with honesty, sometimes gentle, sometimes uncomfortable, but always real. To see your dreams clearly, you must be brave enough to see yourself clearly. That courage is the beginning of awakening. 9. The spiritual meaning of forgetfulness. In Buddhism, forgetfulness is not a random flaw of the mind, it is a spiritual condition. When you forget your dreams, your awareness has momentarily drifted away from the present moment, even in sleep. Forgetfulness is the opposite of mindfulness. It is a sign that the mind is too entangled in illusion to witness what is happening within. In this way, forgetting your dreams reflects how far the spirit has wandered from awareness itself. Buddha taught that the mind is like a monkey, constantly jumping from one thought to another. When that monkey is restless all day, it doesn't suddenly become peaceful at night. Instead, it carries its chaos into sleep. The result is fragmented awareness. You dream, but the observer within you is lost in movement. There is no one awake inside to record the experience. So when you wake, it feels as though nothing happened. In Buddhist practice, mindfulness is the antidote to forgetfulness. It means remembering to be aware, to come back to the present again and again, whether you are walking, working, or resting. The more you live consciously during the day, the stronger your awareness becomes at night. Your dreams stop fading because your consciousness never truly drifts away. Forgetting your dreams can also be a gentle reminder from the universe. You are living too fast, thinking too much, and feeling too little. It's an invitation to slow down and reawaken your awareness. Each time you forget, do not judge yourself. Instead, reflect, what am I disconnected from right now? This question alone begins to restore the bridge. When mindfulness becomes your way of life, forgetfulness naturally fades. Then, every dream, remembered or not, becomes part of your awakening, guiding you back to the ever-present truth that you are awareness itself. 10. Awakening through dream awareness. In Buddhism, dreams are not merely experiences of the night. They are doors to awakening. Each dream, whether remembered or forgotten, mirrors the state of your consciousness. When you begin to remember them, it means awareness is expanding. The wall between the seen and unseen is dissolving. Dream awareness is one of the subtlest forms of mindfulness. It teaches you to remain conscious in all states, waking, dreaming, and even in deep sleep. This is the essence of enlightenment, unbroken awareness. Buddhist masters who practice dream yoga use dreams as a spiritual path. They learn to recognize that even in dreams, the mind creates illusions: joy, fear, loss, desire. By observing these illusions without attachment, they awaken to the truth that all reality, even waking life, is equally dreamlike. When you see through the dream, you begin to see through life's illusions. What once controlled you, fear, anger, craving, starts to dissolve. To cultivate dream awareness, you must begin with presence. Throughout your day, pause and ask, "Am I awake right now?" Feel your breath. Notice your surroundings. Each moment of awareness plants a seed that grows into your dream state. Eventually, that same awareness follows you into sleep, and you begin to wake up inside your dreams. But awakening through dreams is not about control, and it's about understanding. You start to realize that everything, both in dreams and in waking life, is a reflection of the mind. There is no separation. The same consciousness that observes the stars at night also creates the visions in your sleep. When you awaken to that truth, remembering your dreams becomes effortless, because the dreamer and the observer have become one. This is the silent awakening the Buddha spoke of: awareness beyond time, beyond illusion, beyond sleep itself. Forgetting your dreams is not a curse. It is a calling, a quiet message from the universe reminding you that you have drifted too far from your own awareness. In Buddhist wisdom, remembering your dreams is not about collecting images or chasing mysteries. It's about deepening presence. The more you live mindfully, the more your inner world begins to reveal itself, in waking life and in sleep alike. When your mind is clear, your emotions balanced, and your heart open, the bridge between these worlds becomes strong again. You begin to remember not only your dreams, but who you truly are beneath all illusion. Every forgotten dream becomes an opportunity to awaken further, to polish the mirror of the mind, and to see life as it really is: luminous, infinite, and profoundly interconnected. In the end, remembering your dreams is not about memory. It is about awakening to yourself.